Welcome back to my third video of ranking all the best 5 positions. Today we are going to be ranking the top 25 best small forwards. Before we get into the video, thank you all for 10 subscribers. It really means a lot to me, and could we get 15 subscribers before the year? That would make my day and my year. Number 25, I have Otto Porter. He is a Chicago Bulls small forward. Small forward sometimes starts, sometimes is off the bench. I was debating him and an honorable mention, but he's just a pretty average player. Nothing really, amazing about him. You don't watch Otto Porter and be like, damn, he's really good at this. You just don't, which is fine. He's a good role player, and I think that's how his career is going to be. But you might argue he still has potential, but my perspective is he's going to be a role player his whole career. Shooting B-, playmaking C+, finishing B+, and defense B-, overall 77. And his overall is based off, the number 1 small forward. So, if a top 10 small forward is ranked in the 90s, it's based off a small forward list, not in total. Just put that out there. Number 24, Markieff Morris. It's kind of clear who's the better Morris brother. I don't get me wrong. If Markieff Morris ever somehow finds this, no disrespect. It's just his brother's a lot better. Let's be honest. He's just not as good. But he's decent. He's a good role player. Comes off the bench. He's just not as good. Let's just be honest. Because he's especially on the Lakers, so he doesn't get a score or do anything. But shooting C+, playmaking C+, finishing B-, and defense C+. So 77 overall, just 25. 23, Joe Ingles. He was a tough one to rate because he's a pretty solid shooter, a very above average shooter, but then he's not that good. So shooting B+, playmaking B-, finishing C+, defense C+, another role player that is getting older, so he's not going to get that good. That's another reason why he's 23, because he won't get better. But yes, sir. 22. Derrick Jones Jr., you could say Joe Harris is better, but let's be honest. Joe Harris will be average his entire career, the rest of his career, because he's old. And Derrick Jones Jr., let's say they're the same rating. Derrick Jones Jr. is younger with a lot of potential, and Joe Ingles is old with no potential. Shooting C, playmaking B-, finishing A. That's why he could be higher. You could debate, but nothing really special about him. I mean, there is something special about him. He's dunking. He won the dunk contest. Defense B, and overall 78, tied with Joe Harris. 21, Melo. You could think he's higher, and I understand that because he was great, but he didn't play the whole season, I don't think, at least. Yeah, he is just a pure scorer. He likes to play ISO, and that's not the best in modern day. The only thing he does, he catches it, or he's like, move everyone. Let me get an ISO. That doesn't really, it works. It's just, he needs to learn how to be let me get it, swing it, let me get it, shoot it. It's not all ISO. So shooting B, playmaking C+. Again, he doesn't play make, that's why it's C+. Finishing B, doesn't finish often. Actually, he does. He's pretty solid. Defense C+, and a 79 overall. And why did he get a $2 million contract with the Blazers? He should be getting 10 mil. No, 5 to 7 mil. You should not be getting 2 mil. Blazers should pay more. But I'm not going to talk about that now. That could be another video. 20, Jae Crowder. He's another solid player. You might think Melo, Joe Harris, Derrick Jones Jr. are all better than him, but he made it to the finals as a very good player. He's a 3-and-D kind of guy. He shoots a 3 and plays defense, and I like that a lot. Shooting B+, playmaking B-, finishing B-, and defense B+. He's our first 80 overall. Woo. Props to him. I really like Jae Crowder's game. He was just a solid player. I think any franchise would want him to come off the bench, just be a 3-and-D guy. So, yeah. Number 19, Miles Bridges. He's also very young with potential, and not much to say about him. Shooting B, playmaking B, finishing B+, defense B+. A lot of young potential, and I think he'll work well with LaMelo Ball. I think LaMelo Ball will get up and maybe throw a lob to Miles because he's athletic. But he's a bright future. 80 overall. Number 18, Duncan Robinson. It was hard to rank him because he's a great shooter. He's a nice shooter, but do I rank him higher because of his shooting? Do I rank him lower because his regular season was His playoffs was insane. But yeah, he's great. He has so much potential. And his story, if you don't know his story, you should look it up. It's great story how he got to the NBA. Shooting A, playmaking B minus, finishing B minus, and defense B minus. Overall, he's an 81 overall. He's kind of like Derrick Jones Jr. in a sense, how he's a pure shooter, but Derrick Jones Jr. is a pure finisher. But I think modern time NBA shooters are more efficient or better because 3 versus 2, more points. And 17, Danilo Gallinari. I didn't know if he was a power forward or small forward, but I looked on 5 ESPN websites and like rosters, ESPN stats. They all said he was a small forward. 1 or 2 said he was a power forward, but I reckon he was a small forward. Shooting B plus, playmaking B minus, finishing B, and defense B. 82 overall. Not much to say about him, but he's still a solid player. 16, OG Anunoby. I really like his game. He's a great defender, and he's average at everything else, and that's very good. Yeah, I really like OG. And he's also on the Raptors, and I think they can make a run because they're a very well-rounded team. Shooting B, playmaking B, finishing B, and defense A minus. He's a solid 82 overall. 15, Will Barton. A lot of people had him higher. I even saw a Bleach Report one that had him in like top 10. I was shocked. And I've seen people like, he's like, oh no, he's trash, he should be 20. So I went in the middle of that and said he's 15. He's solid, or not like in the exact middle, but like around the middle. But yeah, shooting B minus, playmaking B, finishing B, and defense B plus. Nothing special about him. He's just a solid player. 83 overall. Kelly Oubre, 14. Shooting B minus, playmaking B plus, finishing A minus, and defense B. I think it's a good addition for the Warriors. I think he's a solid player. Not like an all-star. I don't think he'll ever be, maybe once in his career because he's still young. I don't think he'll be an all-star, but you never know. Yeah, he's good. I think he'll always be a good starter. Maybe not an all-star, but you never know with people's potential. 13, Andrew Wiggins. He's also good. Not much to say about him. He's bounced around teams, and people started comparing him to like Anthony Edwards in a sense of how he might bounce around teams, but I think Anthony Edwards will have a better career than Andrew Wiggins. That's my opinion, but yeah, I just heard a lot of controversy about that, but you might not care about that. So shooting B plus, playmaking B, finishing B minus, and defense C plus. 83 overall, solid player. Andrew Wiggins' game's not my favorite, but yeah, a lot of people like him. 12, Markieff Morris. His brother was 24, and now he's 12. That's just funny to me. He's a double. He's 12, he's 24. But yeah, he's just better. That's really it. He's just purely better. And if anyone thinks that Markieff is better, you don't know basketball. Shooting C plus, playmaking B, finishing B plus, and defense B plus. Another reason because he was on the Knicks, so he could be a scorer. And since Markieff's on the Lakers, he can't score. But if they switch roles, who knows what could happen. 84 overall for Markieff. 11, Michael Porter Jr. He was difficult to rank because he blew up in the playoffs. Played one of the best bubble players in the regular season. But in playoffs, and not the playoffs, just the bubble, he played nuts. But in the regular season, he was just fine. But he stepped his game up. And I'm expecting him next season or this season to step up his game a lot. So shooting B plus, playmaking B minus, finishing A minus, defense B minus, and 86 overall. The top 10, Gordon Hayward. He was hard to rank. We've seen what he can do, but he's been injured. So you could be like, no, he should be lower. He should be like 15. Or no, people have him at like top 5, which is just stupid. So I don't really know where to rank him because he hasn't played basketball. But he just signed a massive contract, which is idiot. So stupid. I don't know why they signed him for that much money. He's just a solid player. He's not an all-star, so I don't know why they signed him for that much money. Oh my God. Shooting A minus, playmaking B, finishing B, and defense B. Assuming he'll be a little worse than before, he's still solid. I rank him 10, 87 overall. 9, TJ Warren, another case like MPJ. Average regular season, nobody really knew him. In the bubble, holy wow, he just played nuts. He stepped up his game to another level. People are like, he's an all-star. But he didn't do that in the regular season, so the future's bright for TJ Warren. Very bright for him. Shooting B plus, playmaking B, finishing B plus, and defense B. 89 overall. I like TJ Warren's game. I think he'll be very good. Very good future. Number 8, Tobias Harris. Yeah, this is another case, like, I forgot who, but someone who is a small forward slash power forward. That's what he is, but according to the 76ers lineup, if Al Horford starts, he has to be a small forward. I came to that conclusion and looked at some websites. But shooting C, it's weird for a guy in the top 10 or even top 8 or ranking 8 to have shooting C. But yeah. Oh, he's our first 90. I didn't even realize that. Hey, Tobias our first 90. Shooting C, playmaking B, finishing A-, and defense B+. Like I said, he's a 90 overall. He gets paid too much money, but yeah. I don't know why he makes that much money. He's just a solid player. I feel like this is where the level of small forward steps up. Everyone from like 8 above there, they're just average. Now we're getting to some all-stars in Brandon Ingram. You could see 3 overall spots higher. Shooting A-, playmaking B, finishing B+, and defense B. He kind of reminds me of like a Walmart KD, of how he's skinny and tall and can do things like a guard. So I think he's a Walmart KD, but who knows what his future is. One day it could be KD. But like, yeah, he's solid. He made the All-Star game. Yeah. Number 6, Khris Middleton. You could think he's higher. You could think he switched with Brandon Ingram. I just don't think he brings as much to the table as these other guys. But I do think he's a little better than Brandon Ingram right now, just because he's still in his prime, and Brandon Ingram hasn't entered his prime yet because it's like first 3 years in the league. So yeah, so Khris Middleton's in his prime. Shooting A-, playmaking B+, finishing B+, defense B+, 94 overall. Number 5, Jayson Tatum. You could debate switching him in 4, which you probably know, but yeah, he's solid. I really, 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 really like Jayson Tatum's game. He's one of my favorite small forwards in the league, probably number 1. I just like how he plays. I like how he's like fearless to the rim. Like his defense, he's just an all-around. All of his stats are A. I don't think we've had that with anyone, and this might be the only one that has that. I don't even know. But he's a 94 overall with shooting A-, playmaking A-, finishing A, and defense A-. Like I said, he's one of my favorite small forwards in the league because he's like an A in everything. Number 4, Jimmy Butler. You could say he's better or worse than Jayson Tatum, but at the end of the day, he made the finals and Jayson Tatum didn't. But like I said, but Jayson Tatum's a lot younger, and he's entering his prime now, and Jimmy Butler's in his prime. He's the best stages of his career. So yeah, I like the fit on that. I think he plays really well. Because what I love about Jimmy Butler is he doesn't care if he puts up like 100 points a game. He just wants to win, which I really like that mentality. So shooting A-, playmaking B+, finishing A-, defense A, 95 overall. Number 3, KD. Yeah, I might get hate for this one. You guys should be like, no, he's 2 or even 1. No, he was injured, and no. He's not better than number 2. Shooting A, playmaking A, finishing A, defense B, and he's a 97 overall. You guys, if any people watch this, hopefully I can get another 10 views. You guys think he should be 1 or 2, but no, he's not better than Kawhi. I don't care what anybody says. Kawhi, A+ defense. Let's be honest. A- shooting, playmaking B+, finishing A-, and defense A+. He's not better than Kawhi Leonard. I made it fair and tied their overalls, so they're both 97s, but he's not better than Kawhi. Kawhi's a beast. He does all the dirty work. If he sees a ball on the floor, he'll be the one to dive on that ball and to get that steal. And KD's just like, yeah, I'll score. Play a little defense, but yeah, Kawhi would be like, let me get this rebound. Let me jump over these people and get this rebound. Let me dive on the floor, and I love that mentality. Number 1, LeBron James. I didn't rank Giannis. He's a power forward. But yeah, LeBron, my GOAT, because I didn't see MJ play. But yeah, LeBron's my GOAT. So yeah, he's obviously the best small forward in the league, in my opinion. Shooting B+, playmaking A+, finishing A, defense A-. Do not leave. I have honorable mentions. Let me finish up saying LeBron. He's a 98 overall. He's very good. Good mentality. And I was right about, I think, Jayson Tatum having the only one with all A's. Honorable mentions. You can switch them off. The guys are all young or just role players. Cam Reddish, young. DeAndre Hunter, young. Kevin Porter Jr., young. Jeremy Lamb, not young. Josh Jackson, young. Rui Hachimura, young. He has all a lot of bright futures. And don't leave. I have another slide, so please wait till the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I love reading everyone's comments. Like, it brings a joy when someone, even if it's a hate comment, it brings a joy when someone's like, great vid, and I think you should move him and him. That's what makes me happy. So please comment your thoughts. I would really like to hear them. Yeah, please comment your thoughts. And also tell me who your GOAT is, because mine's LeBron, like I have him here. And thanks for watching. Peace.